Okay, here we go. Jason here with Piratewizarddragon. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I thought I'd do one today. Coming at you back from my humble abode here in Colorado. Abode, whatever. So, just a quick update. I did a little stint at a shop here in Boulder. I worked at Iron Betty Tattoo Parlor for almost 2 months. I was gonna make it a little bit longer, I was hoping, but I'm done working with other tattoo artists for a while. That's basically, it saddened me to quit this job at Iron Betty because I don't know. I just knew I knew it was kind of inevitable once I got to know the personalities of the owner and his girlfriend. It was kind of a bummer because we all went to the same school. We all went to the Denver Body Art School. They graduated about a year before me, and you know, they're decent artists. I'm not going to knock their art. I mean, I don't know. I wish we could have came to a more amicable solution to the problem I had. Basically, they weren't letting me put my portfolio up front, and they wanted me to use an iPad thing, which wasn't very user-friendly. They had this app that they downloaded, and I wasn't allowed to edit my portfolio, and pictures were in the wrong way, and it was kind of a petty thing. I wanted to have a hard portfolio in the front of the shop, and they wouldn't allow me to put my portfolio up front. And they told me that the industry was moving towards iPads and people not using portfolios, and nobody ever looks through portfolios. I kind of disagreed with all that. I've looked at just about every portfolio in every shop I've ever been to. It's just, that's what I do. Even my fiance, who doesn't have any, she has one tattoo, but she has no interest in getting a tattoo from a shop. She would go into a shop with me and she'd look through portfolios. Like, that's just the way that, I don't know, that's how I show my art, is I show people my portfolio. And he didn't, they just weren't very people persons. Like, I get excited about tattoos. I'm passionate about tattoos. If I saw somebody out, it was in a strip mall location right across from the DMV. So when I'd see people out in the hallway milling around with tattoos, I'd go out there and talk to them. I'd drag them in the shop. I'd show them my portfolio. I'd get them excited about their tattoos, or that's part of what I do. I love tattooing. I love doing tattoos. So it was kind of hard because I didn't really want to leave on bad terms, but he wasn't willing to compromise that effect. And then, of course, I'm paying booth rent at this place. I found out that their rent was, I was paying a little more than a third of I was paying more than almost half the rent, which, if there's 3 artists, one artist should be paying half the rent, and I was doing all the cleaning. Of course, they talk a big talk, but when it came down to it, being there for 2 months, they never cleaned once. They ate at their little art areas all the time, and it was kind of gross. Like, I didn't really want to work in a place that I was going to do all the cleaning. I came in the last 3 weeks and cleaned every morning for an hour before the shop opened with baking soda and peroxide and vinegar and just all kinds of different concoctions trying to clean the grout out of the tile because it was disgusting. And I got almost 50% of the whole grout cleaned before this whole falling out happened, which is, it's kind of a bummer because part of me wants to work at a shop, part of me doesn't. The difficulties at a shop with walk-ins is that you have a lot of people that come in and don't know what they want, and then they know they want a tattoo, but they don't know, they haven't put much thought into it. And I mean, I love to tattoo, but I don't want to tattoo people that haven't thought about their tattoos a little bit, because you could possibly regret it. There's a lot of people out there walking around with tattoos that they don't like because they didn't think it through. And when you start mixing money with tattooing, which it's inevitable, I mean, you have to make money doing this. It costs money for the supplies. I'm using much fancier supplies nowadays. My needles alone, I started using cartridge needle systems like Cheyenne. I'm gonna try T-Tech next, but those are on me $350 a piece. And I use sometimes 3 or 4 different needles in a tattoo. So it costs money to do tattoos, but the extra pressure of having to make money no matter what, to pay booth rent, to pay regular rent, it kind of ramps it up to where I think a lot of tattoo artists just do whatever comes in the door. They don't ethically care about the tattoos that they do because they can't afford to, literally. They can't afford to, counsel the young people that are coming in to get tattoos. But that's just my personal opinion on a side note. So we got into a little bit of a tiff about the portfolio, and I was willing to finish out the month. I tried to finish out the month, but he threw the old, I've been doing this for 2 years and you're my employee, I'm the boss, bag of shit at me, and it it was really disappointing because I wasn't trying to be aggressive with the guy. I wasn't trying to be intimidating or anything like that. I was actually trying to come to a solution so we all could, because I thought we were a team. I mean, that was the understanding that I understood, is that we were a team. You know, when you go into a shop, they all talk about, oh, it's a family, but I've never once been accepted into the tattoo fucking family. I can tell you that, like, not in the industry sense. You know, they're willing to take my 115 hours just like everybody else and then shit on my dreams. So I don't really give a shit about famous tattoo artists. I don't give a shit about tattoo shops anymore. I'm just gonna do what I do. I do art. I do tattoos too, and I'm not gonna question I'm getting to the point where my work is solid. I'm actually gonna, if you go to my Facebook page, which is, you can go to www.facebook.com/Zarchron, ZARCHRON, Zarchron, or you can just look me up by my name, Jason Lamb, LAMB, like a sheep. I'm in Colorado. I'm the only guy with half his face tattooed black on Facebook that's named Jason Lamb that I know of. So you can find me pretty easily. Look at my work. Look at all the work I've done the last couple of months when I was at the shop. It's solid. Like, you know, there's just things about, there's always room for improvement, always, as an artist, and I will be trying to improve my art, but I'm going to approach it a different way, and it's more of a renegade style. I just don't give a shit about what people in the industry say anymore about tattooing. I've heard everybody contradicts each other, everybody argues, and I really don't care. I don't really care. I love what I'm doing. My clients are happy. The art that I'm putting on people, I take very seriously. And I'm getting better, and that's all I can ask of myself. So I'm not going to be too harsh on myself for not being able to work with a control freak, and that's basically what it came down to. This is what I wanted to put up front in the studio. I wanted to put this right here, you know, my portfolio. I wanted to throw this up front so people could look through it, and he wanted me to use an iPad, and it just wasn't, it didn't make good business sense to me, and I tried to explain that to him, like, 4 or 5 people come in a shop and you got one iPad and one guy's looking at it, those other 4 or 5 people are going to get bored. People have an attention span that's very short nowadays. So you hit them fast and you hit them hard with what you're doing. That's how I market. When people come in, I just hand them my portfolio. I say, what are you interested in? What's your time frame? How much money you have? It's very simple. Like, those are the things I need to know. What do you want? When do you want it? Where do you want it? How much are you willing to pay for it? And how long do you have? What's the time frame you're looking to get this in? You know, if somebody comes in and they've got $200 and they want a full back piece done in a day, that's impossible. I have to explain that to them. If you know, I've had over 16 sessions on my back and over close to 40 plus hours now, and it's still not finished. You know, I have to explain to people the actual logistic sense of tattooing, which a lot of people don't understand if they don't have a lot of coverage. So, you know, that's just, I don't know. It saddened me away, but the universe spoke to me in a powerful way that day when I was leaving. I had a good thing happen to me, and I developed some close clients. And honestly, the 2 people that worked at that shop, Brad and Daisy, they talked, you know, it's weird. It's like, I think the tattoo industry corrupts tattoo artists and makes them bitter. And I've noticed this, and I don't want it to happen to me, because that's why I don't want to even call myself a tattoo artist. It says it on my business card, but I'm more of like a multifaceted artist that does tattooing too. They didn't like the clients. They didn't like what they were doing. They didn't like the designs they were forced to do. They they called themselves like art whores, and like they weren't happy. They weren't happy people. They were pretty, I don't know, they weren't sad, but just like pragmatically unoptimistic and unhappy as people. And they didn't get excited. They honestly talked a lot of trash about their clients after they left, which, you know, I like all my clients. Most of my clients are my friends, were my friends before I tattooed them, or they're people I've developed friendships with through tattooing, and that's why I like tattooing. It's not just about like slapping a fucking Pokemon design on your arm because that's what you want and sending it out the door. I want to get to know, I approach it differently. I think there's a spiritual element to tattoos. I've discussed this in some of my channel before. So whatever is whatever's gonna come is great. I'm happy with my tattooing. I'm getting to really learn how to manipulate this Swash Drive Gen 8 adjustable tattoo machine. It's the best right here. It's a plug for Swash Drive. When it comes to rotaries, I mean, I have machines. I got Mickey Sharp's machines. I got nice machines. I got Sunskin machines. I got all kinds of expensive rotaries. These old school coils. I never use them anymore. They're too heavy. Once in a while, I'll pull out my coils for a certain thing. If it's a small tattoo, like I'm doing some traditional shading or traditional line work. But You know, that's another thing. There's different styles in tattooing, and I get tired of other artists. These guys called me old school. I'm not even that old, but I guess I'm old school. They said that the way I approach tattooing is old school, and I always thought, geez, man, old school isn't using rotaries, but you know, I use liners to line. Imagine that. Like, I actually use a liner to line a tattoo. Like these Brad Days, they use shaders, and they kind of like sculpt lines, which once in a while I'll sculpt a line, but most of the time I put in a line, it's a deliberate line. I'm not trying to sculpt a line, I'm trying to put in a line. Just like I've kind of got to the point where I can tattoo like I draw now, which is the ultimate. I mean, I look forward to the next 2 or 3, 4 years in tattooing, because I'm going to get a lot better. My detail and just my precision and designs are all going to improve. It's inevitable if I keep sticking with it. So nothing's changed. I still have to work hard. I still got to draw every day. I know I don't update my YouTube often enough, just because, I don't know, I'm too busy drawing. I've come up with some awesome designs lately. And you just go to my Facebook page. All of it's, I'm going to be updating that in the next couple of days. I kind of had to take down a bunch of art because I tagged the tattoo shop in it, and now I have to reformulate my YouTube page. I mean, not my YouTube page, my Pirate Wizard. This video is for one of my fans. Actually, he requested I do a YouTube video on my Facebook page. So thank you guys for following me over the years and watching my videos. I'm growing and changing, and you know, things are in my life are just, that's just the way it is. You constantly are changing, and I can't say it's not without disappointment this year. It's been a hard year, and I also want to give a shout out to Starlight. I think that's your name. I still have your art. I'm not happy with it. I want to give you another. I want to drop another version of that character. This is just a shout out to you. I've looked at it. I haven't had a lot of time to work on that design or the dragon that you want me to do. I do want to still work with you and be your go-to artist, because you've been nothing but supportive of me and my art, and I feel bad that you commissioned me to do this art and you've paid me, and I've done it and you were happy with it, and I still haven't sent it to you. I haven't heard from you. I still have the art, and I'm not happy with it anymore. I'm very critical of my art. I would like to redraw. I'd like to do it again. It looks too much like the character that you wanted me to look like, and not enough. It doesn't look enough unique. It doesn't look unique enough as a character for me to be his hair. It's just, there's, you know, I've had too much time to look at it. It's permeated in my presence so too much, so to speak. So please contact me, email me. You know how to get a hold of me. I don't know what else to say, except I'm just struggling to move forward and put the last 2 months behind me. I had some interesting experiences at that tattoo shop. There's a lot of things that happened that made me question just being a walk-in tattoo artist, if it's really the gig for me. I really like to develop my clients more through getting to know them and a repertoire of creation, not so much instantaneous gratification, which is what a lot of times you're doing as a walk-in artist. You're just gratifying whatever they're, you know, somebody just kind of, a lot of times they don't put more thought into it than a couple of days, right? And that's maybe even a couple of days more than. I had a guy tell me that. I had a guy who was in, just tell you a short story. Came in, he was in the Army Reserves. He wanted to get kicked out, and he wanted me to tattoo his neck to have that happen. Never had a tattoo in his life. He wanted a giant fucking octopus on his neck with script and an anchor, and he wanted like 6 things in this tattoo, and he wanted it all on his neck. Never had a tattoo before. He saw some flyers I put up because I was trying to do this special when I first started at Iron Betty, and you know, he just he wanted to use me to get him kicked out of the Army Reserves, and so I probed him and asked him all these questions about why are you wanting this, yada yada yada. And I was like, no man, you know, this is your first tattoo. First of all, I don't like to tattoo anybody from the neck up or the wrist up that doesn't have heavy coverage. I just don't. It makes life hard, especially if you're young. You don't understand. You don't. So it's just not. That's just my personal role. I'm sure there's tattoo artists out there that don't give a shit. We'll tattoo you wherever the hell you want. If you got fistfuls of $20 bills, because that's what, you know, or $100 bills. That's what most people care about nowadays. That's what's important. Unfortunately, I didn't want to be used that way by this guy, so I had to send him on his way, and he was practically in tears, and I felt bad, and I asked him, I was like, how long have you thought about that? He's like, I've been thinking about this for 4 months. I'm sorry, man, 4 months isn't enough time. How about you go, I told him in the end, why don't you draw something on your neck, and draw something big on your neck for every day for a month, and then come back and talk to me, and we'll see how it goes then. And you know, I'll never see that kid again. It's just, there's a few other situations that happened with walk-ins, like buyer's remorse, you know, like, and that makes you feel bad as a tattoo artist. This guy came in and he brought me 2 tribal giant fucking palm trees, like, no, 3, I'm sorry. He had a laugh now, cry later thing on his shoulder, had to work around. He didn't tell me what he wanted the tattoo for. He had money in his pocket and money to burn, and he wanted this tattoo this day. He came in an hour before closing. He had 3, and I did what the guy wanted. I actually told him, let's come back tomorrow. I'll outline these he wanted tribal palm trees. And tribal palm trees, like solid black, he showed me a picture of Pinterest that he liked, and he wanted me to do something similar. And I told him, look, I'm not going to copy this tattoo exactly, but I definitely can do 3 tribal solid palm trees, and we can work in a background, a bow, whatever you want in the background. I'll work with you. And then he comes back to me, I tattooed him for 2.5 hours. It was super painful. It was on his spine, some of the tattoo stuff. He calls me up like a week later, and he's like, look, man, I want to go more realistic with this. And I had to explain to him, like, look, if you wanted to go more realistic, I would have gray washed that tree outline. I wouldn't have used a 9-round liner, and I got to start filling it in. I started using a 23 mag to do the fill on the bottom of where it was supposed to be all black, and you can't reverse that stuff. Once you outline something with a 9-round liner, that's a pretty thick line. And so it made me feel bad. It made me feel like, I don't know, I learned from it. Like, I'll never jump into anything, especially a big back piece. I don't care if somebody knows exactly what they want. Like, they bring me a picture, I'm gonna sit with it a while. I'm gonna talk with them. I'm gonna make sure they understand the commitment. And I tried to do that with this kid. It's not like I slapped the stencil on him and cranked up the machine. I told him it's a long process. I showed him my back. I told him it was expensive. I told him it was painful. I asked him if he was prepared for all this. I told him it was going to take probably, several long sessions to do his whole entire back. If not, maybe even over a year, like if he's only able to handle a certain amount of pain. He had a few tattoos, so I thought he kind of knew, but it sucked. The feeling when he called me up after I talked to him for like an hour and a half on the phone. It was rough. I mean, that's going to be one of those tattoos that haunt me, because now he's not happy. He's got a tattoo on his back. I did it. I did a good job. It looks good. I didn't get to finish it and tighten it up because I was supposed to solidify the whole thing. It was supposed to be tribal. So that bums me out. And it just, I don't know. It's all stuff that you struggle with as an artist that you don't think about when you start working at a shop. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tested in many ways. And I was tested, and in some ways I'm hard on myself, and I feel like I failed. But in other ways, I feel like I succeeded too, because I have certain standards that I'm not willing to compromise, and that's just the way I am. I definitely have a strong sense of what is just and fair, and when I'm not treated fair, I never back down from standing up for what is right. And if I'm given an ultimatum, generally I'll take it. Like, I don't like to be, I'm the boss, you're the underling, you're just an employee. No, I work for myself, and I work for myself and the tattoo gods, and I have no problem having faith that they'll take care of me. So they've taken care of me thus far, and I try to honor them, and I try to honor all the gods, Western, Eastern, past, present. It's just who I am. They all hold weight to me. Even the undead ones. But anyways, this is my video. It's for a friend on Facebook, Customia Secretia. I can't even pronounce your name. It's cool. He's one of my modified friends. Probably started following me when I was part of the Odd Mod channel. So I just want to say hi to everybody, and a shout out to Starlove. Tell you that contact me. Let's work something out with the art. I still have the design. It's sitting right here. I want to work on it. I want to spend a couple days on it again and actually kind of start it over. You've been a great supporter of mine and an encourager, and I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for all the people that support and encourage me in my art. It's not been easy. It's been hard. I've been working at this. My first apprenticeship was 2011. It's 2015. I definitely have given it my heart and soul for the last 4 years, and I'm going to continue to do that. Check out my Facebook page. Friend me. Send me a friend request. I would love it. I love having new friends. Look at my album art. I just did a Thor I've been working on, 3rd session. It's beautiful. I did a custom light tower at the shop. I did a little crown that's up on my Facebook page. That crown is just shy of 3.5 inches this way, horizontal way, and top to bottom, it's less than 3 inches high. And there's a mole near the tattoo that you can see. I did little crescent moons inside the gems on this crown. I mean, yeah, maybe it won't hold up for 20 years, but it looks solid, and I'm not done. I got about, 20 more minutes of shaving on that. It'll look perfect. A lot of times with tattoos, I learned you have to be patient, even showing them to people. Like, I don't like to show people my tattoos the first session sometimes, just because they're not finished. People tap out. People always quit before I do, generally speaking, nowadays. I've gotten a little better at my depth and just putting the ink in, being efficient. So it hurts. And what I'm doing is I'm injecting 5,000 times per freaking minute ink into pores in your body. Like, it just, you know, these rotaries do not mess around. You crank these up to, you know, 8.89 volts with the right needle on here, and it puts in ink. Now that I'm using the cartridges, my speed is almost doubled in the way that I have to slow down a little bit because it puts in the ink so efficiently. So follow me on Facebook, check out my art, watch me grow. I'm not giving up tattooing. My next dream of tattooing, let me give you a little preview of what I'm gonna manifest next, because I'm not giving up, and I gotta figure out a way to tattoo on the up and up. So I'm gonna start saving my money, putting away money, keeping my clients I have, developing new clients, but doing it a little more slowly, making sure it's people I can trust and that are, you know, on the level, understanding what it's like. And then I'm gonna save my money. I'm gonna get a big UPS truck, put an air conditioner in it, open up, put a sunroof in it, put my barber chair in it, set it up to put a sink in it, a disposable, you know, like a portable sink, everything, bathroom, the whole bit. I'm gonna have all of it in there, maybe even a shower. I want to get a big ass bread truck. I want to paint tattoo design dragons all over it, like 100 different dragons on this thing, like 2 main ones on the side, and then have my Lamb's Ink tattoo, mobile tattooing. And there's bylaws here in Boulder County where I live here in Colorado for mobile tattooers, so I can totally comply with all the health department rules and have everything stainless steel, have everything ready to go and on wheels. And then I'm just gonna promote myself and drive around. You know, I'll drive to you wherever you're at and come give you a tattoo if you've got the money to pay for my gas. And I'll be a mobile tattoo artist. I'll go to different counties. I'll get the temporary permits, because there's all these laws for mobile tattooing now with festivals and stuff. I want to get into that. I want to travel more. That's my dream. It's probably going to take me 3 or 4 years to save up the money to do that right, but it's going to happen. You'll see me rolling down your highway one day, Lamb's Ink with dragons all over it, and you'll know that's that crazy motherfucker from YouTube that never gave up on tattooing, even though everybody tried to discourage him, even though everybody said you could never do it. You can't start tattooing when you're 37 years old. You just can't do it. You can't ever be a professional. I'm going to do it anyways. I'm gonna spite these motherfuckers, because it sucks. Like, man, I put so much heart into being at this shop and so much energy and money. Can't even tell you how much money I dropped getting into that shop, making sure I had all the right shit, investing in my tools, paying for I bought all the paper towels for everybody the whole 2 months I was there. It started to wear me down that things weren't, you know, I can live with it a little while, but once something starts to get a little unfair, like, I gotta stand up for myself, and I wish them the best of luck. They're not bad people. They're young, and that you can't hold that against somebody, because I was young too, but I wish we could have been a family, and that's what makes me sadder than all this. Is not so much that I lost the opportunity to tattoo at a shop. Ooh, you know, great. I mean, that's great too. It is truly an opportunity. I should make fun of it, but I lost a friends. I wanted Brad to be my friend. I wanted his mate, his girl Daisy, to be my friend too. I wanted to grow with these guys. I mean, we were teaching each other stuff. It was a great opportunity, not just for me, but for them too. I mean, they didn't even know the difference between, like, hand stencil paper and thermofax stencil paper, that there's a difference between the spirit papers. I showed them. I mean, they couldn't understand why my stencils were so dark and lasting so long. I'm like, look, you're not using the right stuff. So they learned stuff from me. Their tattooing will always be better now since I worked there. Their technique and the equipment they used, they upgraded because of me, because they saw what I was using was superior. Even needle configurations with the new cartridge system, I was teaching Brad what I was doing with them, and it's just kind of sad, because I keep looking for that, and what's finally settled in is I'll never find it. Like, I'll never find it until I got my own gig going, until I'm running a shop, and then I can vent people, and then maybe one day I'll find somebody that's like me, you know, 3 years ago, that's hungry and never going to give up, and then I can welcome them into my fucking family. You know, that's the thing. I do have a family of tattoo people, but they're all clients. They're my brother. They're my brother's wife. They're my soon-to-be wife. They're my people. Those are my family, and I keep trying to go to other sources for it, and it's tough. It makes me sad sometimes. But anyways, I don't want to end on a sad note. Things are good. I'm blessed. I am happy. I'm creative. I'm lucky, and I'm sexy, and that's what you should be too every day. Tell yourself that. Life will. The world will give you what you want if you put enough energy into it. I guarantee you. The law of attraction and manifestation, I believe in that stuff, and just be mindful of your thoughts like a Jedi always, and focus on the positive, and just keep working hard. I'm not going to let this quit. I got designs I'm working on right now, but I wanted to do this YouTube video because I promised a friend I'd do it, so here it is. Please feedback, give me some comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't give a shit. talk to me. Send me a message. Friend me on Facebook. I'll put the links below this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.